So I just want to welcome everyone to our Umbraco Engage webinar with Bluegrass Digital, or Bluegrass Digital presenting Umbraco Engage. We have Matt Rue, who's our head of product, who will be speaking today as well as Leon, who's the commercial product manager for Umbraco Engage. So this is the agenda that we'll be covering today. Obviously, the welcome and intro now. We'll give a little bit of background about Umbraco, very high-level overview and our involvement. Then I'll hand over to Leon to present a live demonstration. Then we'll go back to Matt to cover off some things, and then we'll have the Q&A. So just a bit about Bluegrass Digital. We have been around since 1996, and we help companies to design, build, and support digital products and platforms using technology built to scale. We have been Umbraco Gold partners since 2012. And we've obviously worked with some other partners and affiliates as well, but we've done many websites with them, and it's been really awesome. So it's a great community. There's a lot of sharing that goes on behind the scenes. You can see this is their code garden where everyone's cheering and helping each other out and connecting. So we really enjoyed our time working with them. We also had our very own Simon, who presented about Umbraco Commerce that we implemented as a solution for a client of ours. So as you can see on the Umbraco CMS, it gives you all the information. This is the community side where it will show people have discussions, pull requests, etc. So Umbraco has powered over 700,000 websites now. There's over 250,000 registered members and 1,000 core contributors. So you're in good company because all of these websites all of these companies, utilize Umbraco for their websites. So if you are on Umbraco, you are in good company. And just a little about Umbraco Engage. So what is Umbraco Engage? It used to be uMarketing Suite. It has been rebranded to Umbraco Engage. They launched it at the end of last year, November 2024. And it's essentially a comprehensive marketing toolkit which can help with A/B testing, provide you server-side analytics, personalization, 360 profiling, and there's also add-on features for Umbraco as well, including the commerce, forms, deploy, etc. But without further ado, I will hand over to Leon to present a live demonstration of what Umbraco Engage is and what you can expect, because I'm sure that's one of the main reasons why all of you are here. So Leon, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Nikki. So let me set up my screen in the proper way. There we are. Yeah, my name is Leon de Wildt from Umbraco. Nice to meet you all. I will be doing a live demo of Umbraco Engage. Like Nikki also mentioned, we come from uMarketing Suite. I was one of the co-founders of uMarketing Suite. We already worked on that product for over 5 years. Then last year we were acquired by Umbraco. And now we are part of Umbraco's DXP group, and that's basically all the commercial packages that Umbraco offers. Umbraco is open source, but on top of that you can have commercial products. Think of commerce, forms, but also Engage. And today I will show you what Engage is all about on high level. I will be using this website. It's called 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗃. We are trying, or at least not we, but these two handsome folks are trying to sell coffee or tea on this website. Of course, it's a demo website. And this one is built on Umbraco. So let me log in to Umbraco. So for the people that do not know Umbraco, this is how Umbraco basically looks like. You have your content tree on the left. Basically the build-up of your website, and on top you have some functionalities. And as stated, Engage is an add-on. So if you have a license for Engage and Engage is installed, you get additional features within your CMS. So if it is installed, you will see Engage in the top menu, like here. If I click on this, then you can see that here we have the dashboard of Engage. Some information about statistics, some information about our license, but the main functionalities are shown over here. So we have analytics, We have A/B testing, personalization, profiles, reporting, and settings. So this could be your starting point to use all these great functionalities, but normally you're already familiar from working over here. So this is the content tree, like I already mentioned. And if I click on the home page, then this is how your homepage could look like in the CMS. So we can change the header. We can change some content over here. So this is normal Umbraco behavior, but again, if you have Engage installed, you will see new functionalities popping up also on content level. So over here we have analytics, A/B testing, and personalization. So directly from the content, you can say, show me the analytics. If I click on this, you will see that we now have the analytics of our homepage. So there's no need to jump to another tool, to Google Analytics or any other Piwik Pro, for example, any other analytics tooling. This is analytics gathered by Umbraco Engage, gathered by Umbraco. All the data, all the statistics are stored there where Umbraco also stores its content. So it really is in your CMS. This means it's also your data. So we don't own anything of you. This is your data. If you would decide to stop using Umbraco Engage, you will still have all the analytics, all the data will be there. Good thing to know is that it's first-party data, meaning that most of the data is not being blocked by ad blockers, Safari browsers, Firefox browsers, etc. It's actually tracked server-side, meaning that you will have 99.99% of all the data from your website. You can still use tools like Google Analytics. That's perfectly fine if you want to do that. If you start doing that, you will see that Engage will probably track up to 30% more data, more page views than Google Analytics does, all based on the fact that we do this server-side. And also a good thing to mention, if you're dealing with security officers, privacy officers, then everything is GDPR compliant out of the box. So that's also a big thing, or big tick, checkbox to tick, of course. And as you can see, all the data is here. We have page views, we have sessions, we have visitors. You can filter on specific data. We have time on page, browsers, but also locations. So we track countries, which you can also click on a specific country, and then you will see some cities. We have goals, so you can set up your own goals. Referrals are being tracked. Campaigns, of course, are being tracked, so incoming campaigns are tracked. We have devices. Events are being tracked, so you can actually see which events are being fired off on my website. Again, if you are using Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, that's of course a way to fire off custom events within your website. So marketers use that a lot. It's perfectly fine to keep on using that. We have one line of code, which is called the bridging script. And what it basically does is if Google Tag Manager fires off an event, Umbraco will also pick it up and store it over here. So you can use it to start personalization based on a triggered event, for example. As you can see over here, they are all stored over here. So we have the GA4 bridging script installed, and then you can see some events are being triggered from Google Tag Manager perspective. Videos. If you use videos within your content, then out of the box, videos are being tracked. Out of the box means Vimeo videos, YouTube videos, and basically all HTML5 videos. If you use Umbraco Forms, then your forms are also being tracked. So you can actually see how is your form performing. So in this case, you can see, okay, this form, how many times do people actually see this form? How many times do people actually start filling out a specific form? How many times do people actually submit a specific form? How many times do people leave a specific form, and do they get validation errors? Think of email addresses where the syntax is not matched, so your visitor will get an error. You can see this over here. But also on form level, so if I would click on the contact form, you can see in there we have three properties. One is your name, the other one is your email, and the other one is your message. So for each of these properties, you can see, do people actually reach this property when filling out a specific form? Do they get errors on this form? But also, do people drop off on a specific property? So here you can see that we only have one abandon, so only one drop off. But if this was 10, for example, you could say, okay, this property email address could be a conversion killer. So I want to start an A/B test. Simply copy the form and then have the same form, but then without email address, and let's see which one performs even better. So you can retrieve all the data from the analytics part over here. Search terms are being tracked. So if you have inside search, then all those search terms are being tracked. Not only how many times do people search on my website, but also the actual search terms. And they are also stored on visitor profile level, and we will see that at the end of this demo. And really good to have is a heat map. Your editors spend a lot of time on creating perfect content, but with the heat map, you can see how far do people actually scroll down on our, in this case, homepage. So we have put in a lot of effort to show our orders or our products over here, but you can also see that more than 70% of our visitors actually do not see this order overview, product overview, I should say. So people do not scroll so far down. So all that information is here. And of course, we can also switch to mobile and we get the same information for mobile. So think of an editor normally only capable of putting content on your website by making use of a CMS. Normally, marketers are more into analytics functionality, so they are looking at the functionalities or at the statistics, and your editors are using the CMS. It is really great if your editors can also see how is my content performing, so they actually can say, okay, let's try to make this content even better, or start an A/B test, or start personalization. So a lot of analytics on this end, but also if we jump to the front end, and if I reload this page, you can see that even in the front end, we get some additional functionalities. And this is called the Umbraco Engage Cockpit. You will only see this if you are able to log into Umbraco, into the CMS. So a normal visitor will never see this. But also as an editor or as a marketer in front end, you get additional functionality. So you can actually see what is my site currently doing, why is something not working, all the information is here. And if I click on analytics over here, you can see the data being tracked right now. So this is server side, we have the browser, the referrer, the type of device, the IP address, the last 3 digits are set to 0, so it's anonymized, the number of sessions, in this case 1, and also the page views. But also we do, of course, some client-side tracking where we can see the time on page, but also the engaged time on page, the scroll depth. If I start scrolling, you will see that it tracks the maximum scroll depth, events that are being fired off, videos being played, clicks to outbound pages or sites, it's all being tracked. And again, this is your data. So if you stop using Engage, you will still have your own data. But what we also see is if the charts or the overviews in the backend are not sufficient, we see that marketers also build their own Power BI or Microsoft Looker Studio dashboards on top of their own data. So you can really connect to this data and build your own dashboards if you want to. A lot of information about analytics, but the best thing is server-side, GDPR compliant, and everything works out of the box, and you have it in your CMS and you control the data. If we make the jump to personalization, and I want to show you this, and today we have 2 examples. One is we don't know the visitor that is coming to our website, but we want to know them, of course, so we want to build up a profile around their visit. and use that profile to personalize their experience. So that is the first example that I will show you. And the second example is sometimes we already know why people are coming to our website because we have a social post or doing paid advertisement. People click on a link, land on our website, and then we can directly use the information from the post or the banner or the button to personalize the whole experience. But first of all, let's start off with the profile not known. So a visitor comes to our website. And of course, we want to find out, could this visitor be a coffee lover or even a tea lover? If so, we want to show a little bit more information about coffee or about tea, of course. So let's say people start navigating to our website, start reading content. They land up on our inspiration page. And over here, we can see the perfect cold brewed coffee. So this is a blog item, an inspiration blog item about making the perfect iced coffee. So if we start reading this one, on the right side, and again, a normal visitor will never see this. This is only there for editors. But for each visitor, we build up a profile. And over here, you can see that we have now, as being this visitor, new visitor, collected 10 points for being a coffee lover. If we go back to the overview again, start scrolling a little bit, then this is also about coffee. Then let's read this one also. And again, an additional 10 points for being a coffee lover. If we go back once more, then over here we also have something about making a perfect latte. If I click on this one, then you can see the additional 10 points are being scored. And right now, Umbraco Engage is saying, hey, coffee lovers just became active because we have collected 30 points. We went through the threshold value of 25 points. So the system is now saying this must be a coffee lover. And we can use this information to personalize the whole experience. Because if I now go back to the inspiration page, and if I scroll a little bit down, you can see that right now we see a try our coffee for free now banner based on the fact that we have scored enough points for being a coffee lover. And not only are we seeing this banner to promote the free sample package, but if we have a look at the content, then you can see that all the items that are here within the inspiration section that are about coffee are shown on the top of the page, as you can see. So everything related to coffee is now being recommended for this visitor. So this is how easy it can be to build up a profile just based on reading some content. The way we do that is if we go to the backend and then to engage and then to personalization, then over here we have our personas. And personas are not a persona as a normal good marketer would say, okay, a persona is somebody that is 47 years old, drives a Tesla, has his own house, etc., etc. No, you can create whatever you want to create over here. You can look at this as setting up your own ingredients to build up personalization. So what we did is we came up with a persona group called coffee or tea. And within here, we have a coffee lover profile and a tea lover profile. We can easily add a new profile because we can say, right now, we also have the cookie lovers profile. And we can tell our fellow editors why did we came up with this new profile. Select a color. We can upload an image. Let's pick this one. Add persona. And right now, we have created a new profile. If we go back to the front end, reload this page, you will see that the system is now also keeping track of the cookie lover profile. So it's that easy to create a new profile. But of course, Umbraco doesn't know anything about the cookie lover. So which content is related to the cookie lover, but we can tell it to Umbraco. So basically, if we go back to content, and over here we have our inspiration session, pages. Then here we have something with biscuits, cookies, and this where we can say personalization, content scoring, and say, okay, if somebody is reading this one, it's not only about tea, It's also about biscuits, so it's also about cookies. So we can score this page also as 10 points for being a cookie lover. So if somebody starts reading this page, they will also start scoring points for being the cookie lover. So this is how you can relate scoring to your content. And if a visitor comes in, starts reading this content, they will automatically start building up a profile, which you can use for personalization. So let's say that we wanted to do something with the cookie lover. Let's say that we want to personalize this overview. What we can then do is go back to the CMS, and we first will have to create a segment. So let's go back to engage, personalization, and this is where we have the segments. I click on add new segment, and I can say, okay, let's focus on the returning cookie lover. That is somebody that has this visitor that has scored enough points for becoming a cookie lover, but is now also coming back to our visitor, to our website. So we can actually do something with that information, of course. We can give it a description so my fellow marketers also know why are we doing this. We can say it's a core segment, basically a segment that we will always use on our website, but sometimes you are running campaigns, you want to stop all personalization attached to it, so you can also set a time slot, an end date and end time, and then if this time slot is being met, all personalization will automatically stop working. But for now, let's keep it a core segment. And on the right, we can see all the parameters that come out of the box again with Umbraco Engage that can be used to build up a segment. And this is where we have the personas. We also have journeys, browsers, device types, time of day, locations, number of sessions. Is somebody logged in, yes or no? Are they a member on our website? Triggered an event, reached a goal, came into a campaign. But also, if you are using Umbraco Commerce, we also have an integration with Commerce, where we can say, okay, somebody has something in his or her shopping cart, or we actually know that this is an existing customer, so we can also use that for personalization. Back to what we wanted to do is we want to build a segment focused on a returning cookie lover. We already have seen that within personas, we created the cookie lover profile, so we can easily add this parameter. And right now we have a segment focusing on all cookie lovers. We wanted to focus on the returning cookie lover, so we could do something difficult with journeys, but we could also keep it simple and say somebody has had more than one session, they are returning. So if I save this one, then now we have a segment that is focusing on the cookie lovers that have had more than one session. So this is basically your returning cookie lover segment. If I now add this segment, then in the segment overview over here, it is shown all the way here at the bottom. I can easily move it a little bit to the top, and if I would move it to the top, I will increase its priority, because Engage will work like this. It will start on top with the temporary segments, and it will look at, okay, is this segment active for this visitor? If so, do I have personalized content to serve? If not, then I will look at the next one and the next one and the next one, as long as it finds an active segment with some personalization that can be served, and then it will serve that page to that visitor. Back to what we are trying to do. Once more, we were trying to personalize this page. So we already built a segment that is the returning cookie lover segment. So we are ready to start personalizing some content. So let's go to the content. This is the overview page. You can see we have the header, etc. And this is where we also can say, okay, personalization, add personalized variant. And then Engage will ask us for which segment. We can say it's for the returning cookie lover. And I can say, give it a name. And again, I can give it a description. And if I click on add new variant, you will see that Umbraco will open up in split view. So on the left, we have our default variant. And on the right, we can see our personalized variant. I can easily copy the content from left to right. So I can say, sorry, paste the header. I can say copy all the content, paste it over here. And right now I've made a copy, but let's change something. Let's say that we want to change the header. So let's have a different image over here. Something with cookies. There should be one over here. There it is. And we can say cookies are yummy, for example. So right now we changed the header. We can say save and publish. And we have a personalized piece of content. If we go to the front end, reload the website, we will see that nothing is happening. But we can again use the cockpit for why is nothing happening. We can close this one and then we can have a look at the segments, because over here we can also see all the segments, but we can also see that the returning cookie lover is inactive because we are not yet a cookie lover. We didn't collect enough points, and the number of sessions is also not more than one, because when I showed you the analytics, we saw that this is our first session. So this one is also not active. Being an editor, being a marketer, you would want to see the website through the eyes of your visitors, of course. So that's why we came up with the simulation mode, where you can easily say, visit the website as segment, returning cookie lover, start a simulation. And here we have our, let me close the cockpit. Here we have our personalized overview. And right now I can navigate through the whole website, and it will still show me the website as being part of this segment. So again, a marketer is setting up campaigns together with the editors. They can have a look at, okay, how is our website behaving for that specific segment? You can all see it just by simulating it on the front end. And if I stop the simulation, you can see that we get the default variant again. So it's basically that easy to, if we do not know the visitor, we can build up a profile based on content scoring. Somebody comes to our website, starts reading content, builds up a profile, and we can use that profile information for personalization like we did with the cookie lover. The other example I promised you was sometimes we already know why people are coming to our website. Because people are clicking on banners. And within the banner, in this case, it's an Instagram post, which is about Black Friday. If somebody clicks on this Instagram post, our website already knows why are people coming to our website. So if I click on the link, you can now see that we land on the homepage, but the homepage is directly changed in the Black Friday variant. So we can see a top banner stating we have a Black Friday discount. The banner is changed. We have a different video. Over here, we can see that we are still keeping track of the score. But right now, we stated that this is a more important segment because the UTM campaign contains Black Friday. So that's basically why we are showing, or we are viewing the Black Friday variant. And that's all based on the UTM campaign over here. And it's here on this page, of course, but if I start navigating to a different page, you will see that it's not over here anymore. So the information is gone, but you can see that Engage still knows that the segment is active. So even on the inspiration page, you can say, hey, you came in for Black Friday. Do you still want your 20% discount, yes or no? So you can put in little teasers throughout your whole website. So you don't only have one landing page, but actually your whole website could become a landing website. So that's basically how you can also think about personalization. And this really is your low-hanging fruit. Yes, you can start with scoring content. You will first have to come up with some profiles, then apply scoring to it, build your segments, and then start personalization. But this is something we are all doing. We are all having those links out there. So if somebody comes in, we can use that information to personalize the whole experience. And the way we did that is if I go to Engage, Personalization, and to the segment overview, then here we have our Black Friday campaign overview, segment, I should say. And if I click on Edit, you can see that it is a temporary segment, and it's only looking at the campaign's values. If I click on this one, you can see that it's looking for the UTM campaign should match exactly Black Friday. If I made a typo, I can edit easily. We could use the UTM source, UTM medium. So if somebody's coming from LinkedIn, we could say it's probably a business user, so it falls into a different segment. So all that UTM information can be used for building up a segment. And also within the advanced settings, you can say, okay, I want to remember this information always. For Black Friday, you would probably say only in this session, or in the last 3 sessions, or in the last 7 days. But also keep in mind, as soon as the end time and end date is being set or being met, then it will automatically stop. But this is where you can also control basically how long this segment should remain active. A lot of information about personalization. I also want to show a little bit on A/B testing. And A/B testing basically works the same. So let's say, again, this page, if we want to personalize this page, A/B test this page, we can go to this page and say A/B test, start an A/B test, give it a name. Test should always be part of a project. So in this case, optimizing sample package conversion. Normally you would do multiple tests within a project to have a specific outcome. I could say with this test, I think to whatever I think to. I could say it's a single page test. So I basically make a copy of the page. A bit technical, but you can also use multiple pages. So you can run tests on multiple pages. And Umbraco makes use of templates for pages. So you could also say, I simply want to run this test on each content page. So if I pick the template of the content pages, then this test will run on all my content. Could be handy for if you're doing commerce, think of a product a detail page. You don't want to tick all the products. You can simply say, this applies to all products. For now, we will keep it as a single page. Sorry, also good to mention, we also have split URL for, think of commerce checkouts. So you could have a one-page checkout, fill in your name, fill in your address, fill in your bank details, etc., and click on order. But you could also split URL test an alternative checkout stating first, can you give me your name? And then you fill in Leon. And on the next page, it will say, okay, Leon, can I have your address so that we know where to ship your order to? So you can do multiple checkout steps. That is something you can also test with A/B testing in split URL. So that's also available within Engage. For now, we have a single page. We can easily say, okay, we have one variant. I can create multiple variants, endless variants, but please do think of the fact that the more variants I create, the more visitors, more page views we will need, the more traffic we will need before the test becomes reliable. So if we keep it to 2, then it will probably have the best outcome. But if you have a high traffic website, you can easily create 3 or 4 variants. We should pick a goal. We were part of the project optimizing sample package conversion. So let's say our goal is the free sample package request. Everybody that comes to our website will participate in this test. We can also say now only 40% of our visitors, but let's leave this one to 100%. And it will automatically divide this audience equal across all variants. So that is done out of the box. And then we can say edit. And again, in split view, we can build our variant. I will skip that part, but it's basically the same as personalization. but also think of the more freedom you have in your CMS for building up pages, the more freedom you have for A/B testing and personalization. So even if you are able to set up your menu within the CMS, you could also use personalization and A/B testing on the menu. So you could say, okay, for this specific segment, think of the logged in member segment, you can show them a different menu, for example. That can all be done. Then you can go to the A/B test, and then you can say, start the test now, or you can even schedule the test. And I will jump to a running test, because we have a test running on our request free sample package page. And you can see that it's focusing on the goal free sample package request. This one is in the lead, so the original one has a higher conversion rate than the challenger. This is a short form, and this is a long form. I can also show it to you. So this one is the one with the shorter form, and we have a variant with the longer form. Everybody's saying short forms perform better than longer forms. In this case, it actually does. I have also seen examples where the outcome is the other way around. Basically, you cannot say things like that. I would always say start A/B testing those things. And for each website, the outcome will be different. Good thing to know is we have set up a goal free sample package request. So if somebody fills out the form to get a free sample package, whether it's the short form or the long form, then this goal is being triggered. And we use that trigger to see, okay, which one performs better. But this is not our only goal. We have other important goals on our website. And over here, you can see that we get warnings. Because if I click on both variants, you can see that out of the box with every A/B test, Engage is also looking at all your other important goals. So not only focusing on the one you have set for this A/B test. Of course, this is your main focus for this A/B test. But out of the box, it will also keep track of, okay, did people actually buy products, yes or no? And over here, you could see a warning. So this is a really big drop-off. So you could also say, this should never become a winner. If it's doing too much harm, then you could also say, if you have more variants, disable this variant, and you can leave the test running with all the other variants in it. Or you could end the test. If you end the test, you can pick a winner or not. It's up to you. And if you pick a winner, you have to manually copy all the content from the winning variant to the default variant, because we stated that Engage will never change content on your production environment. I'm looking at the time. Last thing that I really wanted to show you is it all comes together on a visitor profile. And what we did, I already showed you in the analytics, the contact form. So this is Umbraco Forms. And within Umbraco Forms, we also have a connection to Umbraco Engage. So over here, we have built up a form asking for your name, your email address, and your message. But we have also a hidden field called Engage Visitor ID. And what it does is, if somebody submits this form, they will go to the thank you page, but also we will send an email to us. Within the email, we will get the direct link to the visitor profile that has submitted this form. So think of this form. Normally, we will only see your name, your email address, and your message. But if we get that mail from that contact form, then we have a link looking like this. If I click on this link, again, normally I first have to log in to the CMS. But over here, you can see all the data that's being gathered on the website, within analytics, within personalization, even within A/B testing, comes together over here in profile. So this is basically your 360 profile. We can see all the session that this profile has had. You can see some profile potential. Is this profile active? Does she or he read a lot of content on our website? The goals that are being triggered can be seen over here. Campaigns, so if somebody clicked on a specific campaign, came to our website, we can see those campaigns over here. Did they use search on our website? If so, we can see it over here. But also they submitted a specific form. In this case, yes, we can see it over here. We can actually click on the form and then we have all the data in it. But also, without the visitor telling us in the contact form, we can see based on the active segments during the last visit. So this personalization, this visitor is a customer. And also they are really interested in coffee. So if I have to reach out to this person by mail, I could better talk about coffee than that I would talk of cookies, for example. And also if you use customer journey scoring, we also have that. You can also see where are they in the customer journey. A lot of information, 3 sessions, 65 page views. We have all the analytics on profile level also. So over here is the first visit. If I click on this, you can see that it started all the way down here, landed on the home page, went through the inspiration page, scrolled a bit, read some pages, but also over here, I click on this one, we can see that a goal was being reached. The free sample package was requested. They were part of the A/B test. This visitor has seen the longer form variant. Over here, you can also see that personalization was active on this page. So there's a lot of information to be retrieved over here that you would never see normally only by getting that contact form. If you are also using Umbraco Commerce, we have the link to Commerce also. So we know this is an existing customer based on the fact that this visitor has placed 3 orders. You can actually have a look at the orders. It's all here. And if this is not enough, you can also bring in your own external profile data. So think of using a CRM or having a mailing tool that has some information in it. If somebody clicks on the mail, lands on your website, you can relate to, oh, you have received that mailing. So you are that person in our mailing tool. And then you can say, okay, I want to transfer data from the mailing tool or from the CRM and store it over here. And then use that to build a new segment. For example, is somebody or did somebody register for a webinar, yes or no? That could come from our CRM. And then you can use that to personalize the homepage saying, are you looking for information on our upcoming webinar? It's all here. So this is basically how you can apply it. A lot of information, a lot of examples. I can talk for hours, but I know that Matthew also has a great story for you, and we should have some time for Q&A. So I think I will hand it over to you, Matthew.
Thanks so much, Leon. I think that was, like you said, very informative, a lot of information, and I think some of our viewers may be slightly, worried. It's kind of daunting, right? There's a lot going on there. So how do you get started? So that's really where an agency like Bluegrass can come in and assist you. We can help empower your team, help get you set up, and help start some of the first initial tests with your team, train you up. And like Leon mentioned, it's really good to focus on the low-hanging fruit as a start. So most of you are probably already running sort of campaigns, like you mentioned in the Black Friday example. So that's a great, easy entry point into personalization, where you can start to leverage some of those campaigns that you might already be running as kind of your first taste of testing. And then as you start to build confidence, your team starts to get more experience, then you can sort of start adding more tests onto that and start branching out into more of your A/B testing, maybe starting to tag some of your content with different personas. And you can then start to build out and expand the amount of tests that you're running and the content that you start to personalize on your website. I'm not going to focus too much on the pricing here, but I just wanted to include it in the deck so that you are aware that it is, like we mentioned, add-on product, and the pricing is mostly based on usage. So whether you're a small site, you'll get all the same features, but the pricing goes up in tiers based on how many visitors you get accessing your site that are then starting to engage with Engage itself. Also quite handy, that's just recently been launched by Umbraco, is this product tour. So if you want to have a little play around and see the interface yourself and have a sort of click around, this is kind of like a guided tour through the interface and some of the features and things that you would have been demoed today by Leon. So you can go through it in your own time. So I've just dropped the link there, so you'll also be able to access that. And it's just a great refresher on some of the key features. And then just in terms of if you're a developer or someone who wants to, get their hands wet and play around with themselves, how do you kind of do that? So you can reach out to Umbraco Engage if you would like access to a demo site to play around with, or if you are a developer yourself, you are able to play around with it on your local host without having a license. So that's a great way to get a bit of experience there. And then also you can use it on premise. So in other words, a non-Umbraco cloud site as well as an Umbraco cloud site, it works seamlessly across both. So whether you are having a cloud hosted site or not, Umbraco Engage works across both of them. And then if you have any sort of questions after this, you're more than welcome to reach out to us at hello@bluegrassdigital.com or Nikki@Bluegrass, and we'll be happy to answer any of those queries. And just before we move on to the Q&A section, and apologies for speaking quickly, I'm just trying to leave a little bit of time for the Q&A. Just a couple of things that we've noticed have come up with our clients in the past when it comes to A/B testing that isn't something that you always think about and consider, is that you would have seen that the experience very much relies on the website being able to detect who you are and then serving you a specific experience based on who you are. So that's kind of counter to what happens with caching on websites these days. So basically what a cacheful website is that when the first user hits the website, they're served the experience and they take what's called the sort of hits of all the server rendering all the resources for them to see the sort of content on the particular page, and then subsequent users who need to get that same content, they get a far faster, better experience because it's been cached on the server. Now, when it comes to A/B testing, if you're caching your content, you can't get those experiences where if I'm a tea lover, I get something, and I'm a coffee lover, I get something else, because you're just being served the same cached content. So that's just something that we'll be able to assist you with in terms of how do we get this to work with caching, and it's just a consideration to have where you need to work around your caching, or maybe you're testing certain pages that aren't cached, but your pages that really are quite heavy on the server and require caching, then you potentially don't initially run tests on those particular pages. And then just some final thoughts and considerations. I think Leon touched on it, but when it comes to making use of Engage and doing testing, one of the pitfalls that people often have when they do their testing is they often test based on feelings. So like Leon mentioned, I feel like the long form would be better, or I feel like the short form would be better, so you go and implement that. But as soon as you start having that kind of feeling, that's really something that should be a data-led decision that you're making, and that's a key item that you can then go ahead and test immediately, and then actually have the data tell you what is right or wrong. The other big challenge that people don't really consider when it comes to this is content. So just imagine that we're testing the difference between coffee lovers and tea lovers, and we're serving a different banner. You need to have content for that different banner. So you need to have designed a tea banner and designed a coffee banner. So these are some of the things that we as Bluegrass would be able to help, take you through, make you think of, and then pull in the right team members, the right content and marketers and things like that from your team, so that you, when you start to work with this product and this tool, have a successful experience, rather than, you start trying to engage with it and then you discover down the line that you actually haven't got enough designers or content team to fully utilize it, because you can't put together enough personalized content to actually make use of the personalization features that are involved. And then just the final thing to consider when it comes to A/B testing is that it works off something that's called statistical significance. So in order to be able to determine whether, the long form or the short form is actually a better experience for a user, you can't only have had 6 users engage with your site, because it could just be, a fluke that the 6 particular users that came to your site were, Gen Z, and they have no time for anything else, so they prefer the short form. But if you had let the test, for example, run an extra month, and you had a bunch of older people who prefer longer forms come in, you would have got a very different result. So A/B testing very much relies on slightly larger traffic numbers for statistical significance. So that's where you just need to consider, I guess, where you're placing these tests and the amount of traffic that you're getting to those pages in order to have a sort of successful testing experience there. And then finally, it's an iterative experience. So basically, you need to start out small, start out with your initial tests, make some assumptions, test them, get the results, and then move on to the next thing. With the particular test example that Leon showed, where you're testing an entire page, I wouldn't, for example, if your home page is made up of 6 blocks, change all 6 blocks on the test and then see which one runs better, because you may find that, version B performs better, but because you've now changed 6 elements on the page, you don't actually know which one is having the impact. And maybe if you'd only changed one of the blocks, you would have seen an even bigger impact than changing, all 6 of them. So that's where it's quite good to, start small, test small little elements, and then you can be making clear, informed decisions based on, whether you have a clear winner and you actually know what is causing one experience to be a winner over the other one. And with that, I will wrap up and look at some of the questions that we've had come through.
So I'm not too sure if people have dropped questions into the Q&A. I'm not seeing anything come up on my side, but
There are a couple, sorry, Nikki, I can see.
Is it? Okay, I don't know why I can't see it. So I don't know if you want to read those. It's not loading on my side.
Sure. I'll just go from bottom to top. So 𝗨𝗨𝗧 has shared some questions. So the first question is, can reports be generated with either a high level or a detailed result similar to 𝗟𝗡𝗴𝗴𝗲 Lighthouse or better? So I think that's with regards to, I guess, the analytics that you have, Leon, and maybe I'll just add on the other question because it touches on the analytics at the same time. It's within the analytics section. Is it possible to get metrics on most searched keywords if the website has a search feature? So I think you kind of showed, you can see search keywords on an individual user's basis, but is there kind of that roll-up view as well?
Yeah, I started off with the demo logging into Umbraco, and then I clicked on Engage and we landed on the dashboard. There we also had the analytics functionality. If you start from there, you would have the analytics of your whole website. So not only one page or underlying pages, but the total overview. And there you have analytics of search, inside search. So that is exactly where you would have the overview of what is the most searched for keyword or keywords.
And then something I neglected to add on to my question. So then can that be broken down by your different personas? So can you see then out of that global view, what were the keywords coffee lovers were searching versus tea lovers?
Not by default in the backend. So in the backend, we really have the data for editors. But I think this is a more in-depth question. I would say connect to the data, connect to the database, and then build your own dashboards, because all the data is there. You can easily connect it with Power BI or Looker Studio. And to make that connection even more easier, we are currently developing a reporting API that you can simply say, okay, connect to Power BI, and then you have all the available data, so you can directly start building your own overviews.
Great, thanks. And then the next question was with regards to if you have a test running, or if you have, I guess, content that's being personalized based on a persona, but at the same time you're running an A/B test, how does that kind of work if you can run into sort of, for example, you have a A/B test between two banners, maybe one's a coffee banner versus a tea banner, but then you also at the same time have your personas for coffee lovers and tea lovers. Would you not be excluding someone from seeing the experience already?
Yeah, so if you are running personalization on a specific page and you also start A/B testing that specific page, then A/B testing will only be done on the audience that is not being personalized. So in other words, it's if you want to A/B test a specific page, I would say first disable all the personalization, or you could say, okay, it's okay that the default visitors will be part of the A/B test and the personalized visitors will see their own content. And,
Awesome.
the next question might be, can I then use the segments within A/B testing? We actually had that running, but what you then do is you start an A/B test. So let's say you have two variants, variant A, variant B. So 50% of the visitors get one variant. On top of that, you should also be part of the segment, or else you won't be part of the A/B test. So you are really narrowing down on the audience with the result that your outcome will never become reliable. That's what you also stated with the statistically significance. It's based on the 95% ruling, stating that if you would run a test 100 times, 95 times will get the same outcome. So within A/B testing, we also show a label reliable when the result became reliable. But if you would use segments on top of A/B testing variants, then you would not get a reliable variant unless you have a really high traffic amount, but normal website will never reach that point probably.
Great. And then I also saw, as part of your demo, within the A/B testing itself, you have the ability to control the priority order. So that works in a waterfall approach with whatever test you prioritize. The top will be the first one, uses C, and then subsequently, if they don't fall into that one, it just keeps, trickling down until they either do or don't fall into any test.
Yeah. I can see a question. Does the Umbraco Engage analytics show Facebook or LinkedIn campaign? Yeah, we have the data and we show it. Yeah, so that's in it.
Great. So I think that is all the questions we have, and we have gone past the hour mark already. So yeah, I think I just want to thank you very much for your time, Leon, and for taking us through and for your sort of wealth of knowledge and experience in Engage, and also just thank everyone who's joined us today. I hope it's been sort of beneficial and enlightening for you, and yeah, looking forward to getting more into Engage and hopefully taking some of you through, your first tests.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and it's always great to demo functionalities, Engage functionalities, and Umbraco functionalities to a new audience. So really cool. Thank you.
Great.
Awesome. Thanks again, Leon. Have a great day, everyone. We will make this recording available, which we'll send to everyone attending as well. Have a great day. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.